friends. I said the same thing every time. Anyway, this is Elizabeth, Finding Elizabeth, and I am like 3 years, 4 months post-op vertical sleeve gastrectomy. My highest weight was 402 pounds in January of 2014. I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy at Kaiser South Bay in April of 2014 at 360.6 pounds. I have maintained about 190 pound weight loss for over 2 years. My weight last week was 200 and wait, what was it? My last week was 212.6. My weight this week was 210.4. So that's a 2.2 pound loss this week, and a month ago, for the month, it's about a 3.2 pound loss, and from a year ago today, when I was right around my lowest weight, it's a 9 pound gain. So I'm working on getting that off, but generally feeling good because I feel like I'm on track with eating and exercising, and my measurements are at the lowest that they've ever been. So all is good, and I feel, I don't know, I just feel really great. I committed last week, which is why I lost 2.2 pounds. I committed last week to a minimum of 3 weeks of strict keto, which is 20 grams of carbs or less, high fat and moderate protein. I did really well with that. It was Tanya's suggestion that I make that commitment for 3 weeks because that's how long it takes to build a habit. Low carb is pretty much my way of life, but I have, you know, let that ebb and flow, and I was getting a little loosey-goosey with it because of a lot of social stuff that was going on. And so I think getting back really strict has been a good idea. It's super, super easy for me because once you get past the point of huge cravings with keto, I mean, just eating keto keeps me very full and satisfied. It's all the food that I love. And there were people who watched my What I Eat in a Day video that I did last Sunday. And it happened to be a day where I consumed not a single vegetable because I didn't have any. But just know, I do eat veggies. I eat veggies every day as long as I have them. I did not have them that day. But honestly, Patty was coming over to visit, and she was going to Trader Joe's, and she asked what she could bring me, and I said a bag of broccoli. True story. So, anyway, keto works for me. I feel energetic. Just sort of amazing. Life is in a really, really, really good place for me right now. I can't, you know, last summer I was Hot Mess Express, and it's just so amazing how life continues to evolve and get better and better and better. And I mean, everything right now is happening in all aspects of my life in a really easy and effortless way. And I wake up every day super, excited, and that's a process. You know, sometimes you feel like that, sometimes you don't. I've been doing some things that I think contribute to that. Number one is not putting crap in my body very much. Number two is exercising and moving my body even on the days that I don't have, that I don't actually work out. I walk either in the wetlands behind my house or at the beach. I'm very fortunate that there's a lot of great nature nearby. And not only is the physical activity good, but just the being out in nature, I really get a lot from that. I have been, you know, I've meditated for a while, but I have been reading a book called The Universe Has Your Back by Gabby Bernstein, and she recommended a meditation in there. I'll put a link to it in the description if you guys are interested. It's a chant and a mantra. And it's 12 minutes long. I do that in the morning and the evening, and I find that it's very helpful at sort of stilling my mind because you are chanting through some of it. There are finger movements. I mean, it frees my mind up a little bit. And for those of you who follow me on Instagram and look at my Insta stories, every morning, one of the first things I do is write out a page of things that I am grateful for, which I call Appreciation Rampage, and I post that on my Insta stories. And yeah, all those things sort of help. And I have been I'm sure I've talked about this on other videos because it's really important to me, but I think what you feed your mind and what you think about and where you focus is so incredibly important. And it's just so amazing to me where some of this change in my life started, because I think it all begins with a thought or multiple thoughts or consistent thoughts that you have. And so my house, you can go way back. Maybe I'll find that and link it in the bio too. When I first moved here, I did a tour. But I have a loft, which is where my office is, and there's a bedroom and big bathroom up here, but I always use that as a guest room. And then I have a master bedroom downstairs with a bathroom that has a door. This doesn't have a door up here because it's all open. So I used to sleep in the master bedroom downstairs, but I have had so many people visit and stay with me that, number one, I like this space up here. It's very open and light, and I decided to move my bedroom up here, but I'm in the process of, because I had just stored a lot of boxes that didn't get unpacked up here, so I'm in the process of cleaning that out. And through that, I am discovering things that, you know, I have always been pretty consistent about keeping journals, and I found some things that I want to share with you guys, because I really feel like this is where I started some of this change for myself. So I'm gonna read you some stuff from my journal. This is from, I went to at the church I belonged to and was on the board of at the time. I went to a women's retreat. What the hell? I went to a women's retreat in January of 2012, and these were some of the notes that I came out with in terms of like big picture goals for what I wanted. And 2012 was, so this was 2 years before I had surgery. And it's just so interesting to me to read back on these things and see how they are such an absolute part of my life now. So these were the goals that I set. Keep reaching for the real truth of your essence. Who am I and what is truly unique about me? Let go of everything that isn't congruent with that person. Bless it, release it, forgive it. And you know what? I really feel like it has only been the last year, probably, that I know who I am and walk in confidence with that, and don't let other people's opinions or thoughts or even suggestions. I mean, I'm certainly always open to suggestions, but I know if it fits or if it doesn't. And I am very certain in who I am. And I'm 51, and that's just happening. Number 2, get clear on your highest intention and live from that. Number 3, grow in compassion. Be willing to be with the things that don't please you. Allow your compassion to transform. That has been huge for me, probably just over the last, I have been over the last few years able to do it with people that I really cared about, but I have really grown in the last few months in terms of being able to do it with people who, they're part of my life and I have to deal with them, but not at the top of my list of people. And I have really seen myself transform. I am obviously still a work in progress, and the 4th one was let the past pass and be open to the new. And that, is so huge. In 2012, if you would have told me that I would have the life I have today with so much love and happiness and joy, and my life being so full with so many incredible people and opportunities, it is just unfathomable. Unfathomable. You know what I mean. Anyway, so those were like the goals that I set, but then I went, and this was March 21st, 2012. I wrote down what the desires that I had for my life, and it is really amazing. And I had truly pretty much none of these at the time. And I don't have all of them. There were 14, but I have most of them. And I never even remembered writing this down. And so I'm just encourage you guys to think about the mental aspect of this and how important it is where you focus your thoughts. So number 1, to be happy, joyous, and free. I didn't even know what that meant. And now I absolutely do and live that way every day. Number 2, to be free from judgment of others and myself. And, not 100% for sure, but particularly as it relates to myself and how harsh I used to be with myself, I am so much more compassionate. Lindsay made a video this week, and I'm going to link that below, that I thought was so important. It made me so proud of her to realize the importance of being compassionate to yourself through this process, because it isn't easy. We are trying to change a lifetime of fucked up habits in, you know, a year or 2 or 3. I mean, 3 years is nothing. I mean, Lindsay's coming up on her 4-year surgery, or I think it's just her 3.5, because her surgery is in December. But 3.5 years is nothing in the perspective of our life, and we expect everything to change easily, and it isn't going to. But we need to be compassionate, not in denial, but compassionate with ourselves as we figure this out, because it is an ongoing process. And I have never in my life been compassionate with myself, and I think maybe in the last 6 months I've started to grow in that area. Number 3, to have a loving and healthy relationship with Ian and the rest of my family. So huge progress in that area. I would never, I mean, I talked to my video about Ian, my son, last week, and you know, there are some struggles right now, but in general, the openness and honesty and love within the relationships with my family from 2012 to now, it's also unfathomable. Maybe I'll call this video the unfathomable things. Anyway, number 4, to have a home filled with love, family, and friends. You know, I had a friend visiting this weekend who's a non-weight loss surgery friend, but also someone I happened to meet on the internet 21 years ago when we were on a list of moms who were pregnant with babies due in June of 1996. And I just realized I have lived here like a 1.5 years, and I have had more people than I can count in and out of here staying with me, laughing. And I really do feel like this home represents me from a design perspective, and I've just had so much love and laughter here, and thanks to all of you who have come here and visited me and been part of that. And that also an unfathomable thing. 5, to find and begin a romantic relationship with my perfect life partner. Well, you know, that's a work in progress, but I am so different and open, and have experienced so much, you know, love and passion and fun and playfulness over the last few years that I never had before. Number 6, to have a business that serves others and makes me financially abundant beyond my wildest dreams. So that, am I financially abundant beyond my wildest dreams? Not yet, but we're getting there. So I have my work that I do with the Gina Davis Institute on Gender and Media, which I do 3 days a week. And in these other 2 days, I am building something really incredible that is around this, the weight loss surgery community, and this thing that I am passionate about. And we'll be announcing that stuff soon. But it has come together. All the different pieces of this have come together so easily and effortlessly. And I know that that's what this part is. I mean, I will continue. I love the work that I do in the nonprofit world. I love to do it with Gina because I get amazing, amazing opportunities, and the cause is very important. But it frees me also to have time to do this other thing that I am truly passionate about. When I wrote this, I didn't even know what it was I was passionate about, and now I do. To be able to tithe, which is to give back, and I don't do that as much as I should, but that's going back on my top of my list. Number 8, to be beautiful, sexy, healthy, and confident in a way I've never experienced. When I wrote that, I had no clue. And all those things I am right now. To release this excess weight. Yeah, that happened. Number 10, to pay off all debts and creditors and to never see a negative bank balance again. Okay, so that's also still a work in progress, but it's a big focus. It's a big focus for me this year, and I am doing things to deal with it. To have my immediate environment exactly as I want it, beautiful and exquisite, and it is. Not always, sometimes it's messy, but mostly, and pets are annoying. But, hey, speaking of, Dale Cooper, where are you? Yeah, and that's, I mean, the other stuff is like a specific debt. But yeah, I mean, of those things, 90% probably are in my life, and I would have never imagined it. And I really do think taking a minute to write those things down is amazing. And
I'll just put a spoiler out. That's gonna be our WLS topic of the week for next year. What are your desires to have in your life? So you can start thinking about that this week. Okay, so I think that's it. I'm at 15 minutes. I was gonna do some general announcement things, but I'm not. So shout outs. There's a lot of new people having surgery this weekend from Instagram, and I can't remember everybody's name, so I'm not gonna say any of them because I don't want to forget anything. But all you people who are coming on the Losers Bench, congratulations. We had some surgiversaries, 4-year surgiversaries for Lauren Dayton and Nirvana. So I want to congratulate both of those women who were huge inspirations to me. And also 3-year surgiversaries for my little Noki. Gracie had her 3-year surgiversary. Mellie May also had her 3-year surgery, and Randy VSG Granny had her 3-year surgiversary this week. So I love you guys, and you complete me. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.